Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the first episode of Roads and Relics. My name is John, and we are leaving out of Colonial Beach. We're going to be on our way down to Port Royal, going to visit the Port Royal Trading Post. And we're going to take Route 205 down to Oak Grove, where we'll turn on Historyland Highway. That's Route 3, just for a couple miles. And then we're going to get on some real back roads. Coming up on Maddox Creek Bridge here. There's the bridge. Yeah. Maddox Creek would be a worthwhile adventure. Take the kayak and go out and explore that. Pretty easy to get to. Okay, this is Route 3. We're going to take a right turn on Route 3 here. This is our turn. There we go. There we go. Just a little ways to go, and we're going to turn off of Route 3 and get on those back roads. Ready to cross over into King George County, leaving Westmoreland. Welcome to King George County. Beautiful day for a drive. All right, we are going to be turning off of Route 3 and getting on some country roads, some back roads. Here we go. 625. There we go. It's called Salem Church Road. Down into the little narrow part of the road right here. Yeah. Well, that's nice. Go over that little bridge right there. And up here on the left is a historical church. This is Salem Baptist Church. We'll have to come back and explore that one a little bit. Sign said, "Caution, high water." They must have some road flooding or something here. Okay, this road is gonna put us on back on 301, Highway 301, and just a little bit up here. Here's where we connect back to 301. Get up to speed here real quick. All right. Get in this lane over here. Turn on my cruise control. This is the bridge. It's the bridge that goes into Port Royal. We're crossing over the Rappahannock River. And I remember there's a real quick speed change up here, so I'm going to slow down. I can see them things flashing at me up there. This is Port Royal. Over on the right is the museum that we're going to be checking out. And they got the open sign out there, so that's a good sign. Alright. Should be coming up on the Port Royal Trading Post in just a moment on our left-hand side. There's something you don't see every day. That thing is big. Yeah, man. And I got quite a variety of things in here. Now look at the old typewriter. Wow. That's a relic of the past. You got records. It's always records I've never heard of. There's the thing. Look at that. Oh, look at the toys. I like looking at the toys. Look at all the toys. Oh my goodness. Some little boy would be in heaven. Look at all the stuff. Well, there's something you don't see often. It's models. Wow. Yeah, car racing and cars around here, that's a big thing. That and motorcycles. Some more records. Oh my, they got the old 45s. They got the LP albums. Look at there, there's even an old RCA radio. How about that one, huh? That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. See if I recognize anybody in the bin. Jim Reeves. I recognize that name. Oh, more toys. All the toys. My goodness. Hey. We got all kinds of figures and all kinds of wonderful stuff. Well, looks like comic books. Yeah, we like looking at comic books too. The Port Royal Museum, and they are open today. Yeah, looks like we got some information here. Portrait gallery. All famous people here. Here we go. Hello.
We're being filmed?
Yeah, I hope that's okay.
That's fine. Are you live?
No, it's just video for YouTube.
Oh, welcome. Would you mind signing in?
Sure, I can do
That's how
that.
we greet you. How do you feel about being on the other side of the camera?
It's a little unnerving, actually.
How did you find us?
A lot of research.
Really?
I hope it wasn't too hard.
Gary, you better give him the tour.
I will. This is Mike, and this is Clyde. They're two of our most faithful docents. I'm obviously not very good at this.
You're doing just fine.
Here is the corner that we have dedicated to the Booth and Lincoln conspiracies. We have some information about some archaeology that was done at the site, and the Garrett plat map from one of the former deeds house. And most impressively, we have the hinge, one of the hinges to the barn
Oh,
where he was
wow.
where he was hiding out, and where he was where he received the shot in the neck that eventually killed him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he was taken up onto the house.
So this piece of metal is actually a strap on the door?
Yes,
One of the
it's a strap
hinges?
hinge, yes.
Wow. And that was the barn that he was hiding in.
Hmm. And that was picked up in the 50s.
My goodness.
We have a couple of bricks from the house site, though there isn't much of the house site left.
Mm.
But we do have bricks from the porch pier.
Okay. It looks like some buckles and buttons
And that's from the Civil War sites that are nearby.
Ah.
Yeah, so this area was camped. Stonewall Jackson's Second Corps camped here during the winter of 62 to 63.
The Be on the Lookout photograph that was
handed out when they finally figured out that it certainly was John Wilkes Booth who shot him.
You know, how
who shot
remarkable
Lincoln.
is that in a day when they didn't have photography and whatnot, and they had the ability to replicate that and get it out to people to be on the lookout for this man?
Well, absolutely, and you can see that it's not exactly the best
Mm.
photograph because it was
and
produced
his
so
mother,
hastily. His sister actually said, maybe it was either his sister or one of his girlfriends said that's the worst picture they could have chosen of him.
This is a path to get into.
The hearing that
Mm.
was at Fort McNair.
No,
that were,
you never see the money displayed.
Yeah, people.
That's awesome.
My theory is that it had no value at the end of the Civil War because this is Confederate money,
Yeah.
so it was just thrown or burned or.
And you got some shot, and you got some.
Jerry?
And these are all.
Yeah.
These are all from the area or were owned by a family
Mm.
in the area. A couple of artifacts that were recovered nearby. That's a cleaver and the bayonet at the bottom.
It's so good that you have this stuff and that you're preserving the
This is
history.
Cleo Coleman. She's the founder of our organization
Ah,
and was instrumental, and she and Cookie Davis were instrumental in getting this museum established.
yeah. Cookie, I heard
Yeah.
about. Her name's Catherine Davis, right?
Carolyn Davis.
Carolyn
yeah?
Davis, yeah.
We call her Cookie.
The ladies that run the trading post were telling me about Cookie.
Everybody knows Cookie.
Yeah.
She grew up in this area. Her father owned the garage, which
Mhm.
is now an antique store.
That's amazing.
Or in this
This is Herb
museum.
Collins.
He was one of our major benefactors. He passed away in 2003. 2023.
You look like a handsome man.
He was a handsome man. He was an Army vet and curator for the political collections of the Smithsonian for over 3 decades.
That's awesome.
He would tell us stories about walking out of his office and into the White House to collect something for the collections.
Yeah.
Saying, "Oh, Kennedy wanted me to come over and get a life jacket from the yacht," and he'd just walk right over through the mall, back to his office. But
That's
we
great.
treat this room as a timeline of history, starting as early as the Megalodon and before we had human.
These are all
contact.
excavated around here somewhere?
This is from the Rappahannock River
Mm.
area, and this is just on the other side of along the Potomac.
Yeah, I knew there was shark's teeth all along Westmoreland Shores and George Washington's birthplace. They have a shark's tooth beach down there where you can go and find the shark's tooth. I didn't realize that they were on the side of up the Rappahannock as well.
After a heavy rain, oftentimes the cliffs erode,
Ah.
and that's when the artifacts that had been deposited by the silt flats, that's when they erode back onto the shores. And
Native
into the
American
river. Collection, American Indian collection. This is on loan by the Skinner family, and I'll point you up to Lloyd Skinner. So Agnes and Lloyd owned a very large farm along the Rappahannock
Mm.
within Caroline County, and they enjoyed finding a lot of artifacts in their fields. And this was back when you plowed and you could pick things up. And what do you do with thousands and thousands of artifacts? You make folk art.
It's just amazing to see, that it's preserved and it's here.
And these are all tools that were locally made and found here.
Mm.
Some of the materials may have been traded or transported here.
Mm.
We don't necessarily have any rhyolite outcrops in the area, but we do find rhyolite artifacts.
Statesman, Senator Arthur rather.
An economist ahead of his time. Much of a genius, though his books are very difficult to read because he was so knowledgeable about economics. He was an astute observer. This is our furniture room. Most are 18th century, late 18th century. There's a few 19th century pieces in here.
It's little
The
details.
Chippendale was very, very popular. So was the Queen Anne style, which is the very smooth shoulders. So I think of Queen Anne as the smooth shoulders, and Chippendale as the strong shoulders. Sugar Chest, which was always locked, was born
Mhm.
just across the river at Belgrove.
All right.
This is our White House China Room. Largest collection south of the White House. Most of these pieces are original and were at the White House. We do have some pieces that are replicas, or not replicas, but sold to the public. My friend Trish and I give talks about the history of basically American history through the White House China, talking about the transition of the different types of seals and the impressions and the influence of the first ladies.
Mm.
Reagan's China, White House, the formal state China was red. Nancy Reagan adored red. But they also had private China for the private quarters. And each pattern tells a little story. Benjamin Harrison's shows goldenrod in corn, and that's to reflect his Midwest roots.
And I see Rutherford B. Hayes' name over here.
Yes, that's probably the most unique pattern that was created and used for official dinners. Prize pieces is the Society of Cincinnati that we have here.
Wow.
We believe that was a piece, a pattern. A full set was actually gifted to George Washington by Harry Lee, and it was used as breakfast china.
You said it's a smokehouse?
It's a smokehouse.
And that's the one that John Wilkes Booth originally tried to get into?
He didn't actually get into the smokehouse, but he was turned away from the Peyton Brockenborough house.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. And is that the old schoolhouse there?
During the late 19th, early 20th century. So he started his foundation where he would often offer funds if the community could meet the funds. He had plans that were available to anyone who was interested in building to any community who wanted to build a school. And this is based on one of those particular plans. Very typical. This would have been one room for learning, and it has a cloakroom and a small project office. He actually married the son of one of the trustees who started this school. And this is, we have living history where students can come and experience a day in the life of a one-room schoolhouse. In the corner there is Mrs. Rich's graduation from Virginia State College. And over on the piano is one of the last pictures taken of her when the school was finally restored. She died shortly after this. And the other beauty is Cleo Coleman, who started the foundation just on organizing Historic Port Royal. And one of our former students, one of Rich's former students, actually told us that the desk, this isn't arranged correctly, the desk would have been back here, so the teacher could keep an eye on all the students. We have some pictures of the students here.
Okay, we just arrived across the bridge at the Episcopal Church. We're going to go see the historical markers. Father of the Constitution. He was the 4th president. We are in King George County. And this is St. Emmanuel's, looks like. $18.59. That one's been around for a while. Okay. Oh, look at that old gas station sign. Got a bell hanging on it. Old farm equipment, maybe. Part of a Jeep there. Okay, got another stop. We're just on the edge of town. Let's see if we can go this way. How about that? That's some history right there. Let's go find it. Cool. All right, we're here. We made it. Where this is where they got John Wilkes Booth. Somewhere around here. Well, found it. That's pretty neat. Alright, we're coming up to a historical marker coming up here real soon. We're going to go past this church, and that's going to put us back in Westmoreland County. So we're exiting King George County. There's the sign. And we're entering Westmoreland County. Just a little bit further up the road is one of our first markers. Here on the right hand side. Bristol Iron Works. Ain't that something? I just want to say that that was an awesome road trip. That museum was amazing. The trading post was amazing. All of it was amazing. I had a really, really good time. I hope you did as well. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. Thanks for riding along. See ya soon.